Edmonton. Winter has finally arrived. And with it, the Minnesota Wild tonight and the New York Rangers on Saturday. Two of the league's best to take on the Edmonton Oilers, who've struggled at home this year, but have certainly found their game on the road and enter tonight with a chance to gain a share of first place in the Pacific Division, if you can believe that. Stuart Skinner, part of the reason Edmonton has been surging, 4-1-1 in his last 6 games. He's got 78 wins, or 486 behind this man, soon-to-be 40-year-old Marc-Andre Fleury, who will make his 1,000th start of his star-studded career. Now, while that may be only 4th in the history of the NHL, you can see the win total is second behind only Martin Brodeur. He won't catch Brodeur, but he's had a heck of a career. His first game in Edmonton, of course, coming in the winter of 2003. 21 years later, we're underway. And the Oilers starting with Kaprizov taking a quick shot from a sharp angle that ended up wide. His fellow 97, Connor McDavid, on the ice for Edmonton, centering Draisaitl and Podkolzin, Ekholm and Bouchard defensively. Your starting line's brought to you by Scotiabank, believing there's a place for all Canadians in Canada's game. What do you think, Louis? Is this next 72 hours a bit of a measuring stick for the Edmonton Oilers?
No question about it. Two really strong teams coming into Rogers Place. The Minnesota Wild have gotten off to a great start under John Hines and have rejuvenated as a team. Talking to a lot of guys in the room, they like their mix. They like that everybody knows their identity and what they have to do to be successful as a team. So for Edmonton,
a squibber! And it went 5-hole on Marc-Andre Fleury! 1-0 Edmonton, 27 seconds in! And in his 1,000th start, Marc-Andre Fleury faces potentially the toughest bounce he's ever seen. That one ate him up, and the Oilers take advantage. Draisaitl, I don't read lips typically, but he just said, what happened?
and he just tries to put this puck up the middle of the ice, and it goes off of a skate, and this one just goes off of another skate, and then it's turning. You can see this puck is bending. It's bending to the left from the shooter's perspective, to the right for Marc-Andre Fleury, and he whiffs on this one as he just tries to put it into the corner. That's a hometown bounce right there. At the second he tries to play with the big paddle, it bounces over his stick and goes 5-hole. You don't see that every day.
Draisaitl will be credited with a goal, and he moves into a tie for the league lead with Alex Ovechkin with 15. And I guarantee you, Ovechkin may be about to set the all-time scoring record, but he never scored one like that. A dump in by Kasperi Kapanen. His first shift as an Oiler wearing number 42. The Bronx cheer goes up for Marc-Andre Fleury on that dump in as it's spooned out of there by Marco Rossi of Minnesota. Draisaitl, his 6th goal in his last 7 games, and he'll never score a more bizarre one. I thought McDavid might get an assist there, but it did go off a skate going in, and off a dump in. Minnesota's going to be whistled for an offside. And Draisaitl had no idea, Louis.
I mean, he kind of pumped the fist going back to the bench saying, listen, we need some bounces here. We got one. This puck was moving left and right, and it jumped off the ice. This is a difficult one for Fleury. So good at playing the puck, too, right? He has a ton of confidence with that big paddle, but that one eluded him as it bounced right over his stick at the inopportune time for him. And for Leon Draisaitl, he's all smiles. He'll take it.
Safe to say, Louis, the first 10 games of the year, those pucks weren't going into the net.
And, you know, I think that's why the celebration going back to the bench. The tide has turned for Edmonton, they feel. They're starting to get some bounces, and they got one there.
And with that first goal, Save-On Foods has given away their first prize. Leon Draisaitl, his 15th for now unassisted. 27 seconds into the game. Troy Stetcher flipping it up the left-hand side. The Oilers, a full complement of 12 forwards tonight, but no Zach Hyman, no Victor Arvidsson, as Gene Principe told you prior to the contest. Kasperi Kapanen and Drake Caggiula called up for the American Hockey League. Kapanen claimed off waivers from the St. Louis Blues, where he had 1 goal in 10 games. Minnesota working Yakov Trenin. Had a tough start to the season offensively. Center pass, point blank, and he bangs it in. Marcus Foligno goes upstairs, and this game is tied. He had 2 cracks at it, and Minnesota's third line is able to tie the game.
And this is the line you and I kind of checkmarked on the list of the line that was going to be a handful for the Edmonton Oilers. Big, strong, good off the cycle. This is the whole Minnesota Wild, though. Trenton picks up this puck. And this is a team that funnels to the front of the net. For Edmonton, a little bit puck watching. Everybody's there and look at Foligno. He just kind of slips in, and he's right in front of your goaltender. That position has to be protected, especially against this team. He gets a little bit of a bounce off the skate, follows up his own rebound, and bashes that one home to tie the game. But it looks like
they're taking a long look at
I saw something from Ekholm afterwards. He didn't like something about it, and he pointed right away. So we'll see what it's about here.
Video review.
There's a coach's challenge by Edmonton to determine if the play was offside at the blue line prior to the goal.
They're challenging for offside, so obviously Ekholm, I mean, he saw it right away into the zone. And when the puck went in the net, the first thing he did was point back to the blue line. So we'll take a look at this. That look on Knobloch's face is, I don't know if it really
changes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, well, I don't know if it's like a really confident look, but we'll see here.
What do you think at first glance?
Well, not control, that's for sure, right? Not control, and is it Foligno that he punches in there? So it's okay to be not over the line as long as you're in control of the puck. Your body can go in first as long as you have control of the puck. I don't think that's control. It obviously ricochets off the Trenton stick. So we'll have to take another look at it here, but that's obviously what they're estimating here is here's the blue line. Yeah, I mean, this is just in. I think he's just in before the plane of this puck. Like, if you watch this puck is wobbling and right about there. You can see I can see that's one, and the puck hasn't, and that is not control. So that's this is a really close one, but that's a really good look there, and I think that this is going to be, they're going to take a while with this one because they have to get it right. But if they deem that was that much offside, which is literally a quarter of an inch, here it is.
This coach's challenge brought to you by Specsavers. Quality eye care and eyewear should be affordable for all. Should have gone to Specsavers, and we are ready with a call. Here's the Slan Bear one more time.
After review, it was determined that the play was offside. Therefore, the call
there you go.
will be overturned. This is no goal. Please reset the clock.
That was a really close one, but a great challenge. And that angle that we just saw, good pickup by our crew. That was the angle they used to determine that it was offside. It was really close. And I think that look right there says it all. Ooh, that could have gone maybe either way, depending how you see it.
And Noah Siegel for picking that up.
Absolutely, but good call.
Emerson to Derek Ryan. Noah Siegel, the Oilers video coach. Of course, they're in constant communication. Brought it to Chris Knobloch's attention. Here's Emerson loading up with a shot that's blocked by Declan Chisholm, who began his career in Winnipeg. Corey Perry flipped it back in. Zach Bogosian, now in his 17th season, second in Minnesota. Did not qualify for the postseason in his first 12 years. Drake Caggiula back up in the NHL. And this is his third start for the Oilers this season.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you know what you're going to get too, Jack. Every single day he's going to go out there, he's going to finish checks, he's got skill to finish around the net. A leader down there in the American Hockey League, and his second stint in the National Hockey League with Edmonton this year, the team that he started with.
Kulak joined the Oilers out of the University of North Dakota, won an NCAA championship in doing so. Bouchard, brilliant game against Ottawa. McDavid likewise tried to cut inside. That pass for Draisaitl broken up. Bouchard, Draisaitl, and McDavid all had three-point nights as Edmonton improved to 43-0 in games where both McDavid and Draisaitl have at least 3 points. Kaprizov down low to Joel Eriksson-Ek. Reaching for it is Matt Boldy, now Jonas Brodin. Flip it back to Kaprizov, second in the league in scoring, coming in behind only Nathan McKinnon, and 1 point off the league lead at that. Up the right-hand side, Bouchard. Draisaitl double team down low, dug out. And here's Ekholm sifting his pass to McDavid. A shot fought off by Marc-Andre Fleury. The first one that he's faced from a traditional standpoint. One-timer Ekholm and another save by Fleury. He's able to control the rebound before Kapanen can slide in there. Of course, Kasperi Kapanen, a one-time 20-goal scorer for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
They're hoping he can find that scoring touch here and another opportunity with the Oilers. This is a real sneaky wrister by Connor McDavid. Like this shot a lot, uses the screen of Brodin, but because he gets it away, he kind of changes the angle a bit. That goes off the arm, upper part of the glove of Fleury. That's not an easy save as he quickly gets it away.
Face off. Hartman against Nugent Hopkins. Puck grabbed eventually by Jeff Skinner. He waits, and he fired into a crowd. That was clubbed by Nugent Hopkins over the net, picked up by Marco Rossi. And Minnesota's second-line center up the gut. Forced back in, Brock Faber. Last year, runner-up to Connor Bedard for the Calder Trophy. Played up the right-hand side to Hartman. Stuart Skinner directs a pass to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Both teams 4-1-1 in their last 6 games coming in. Edmonton needed a Vegas loss tonight in Ottawa, coupled with a victory this evening to potentially gain a share of first place in the Pacific. Nugent-Hopkins will move it to Janmark. Last we knew, Vegas up 2-0 early third on Ottawa. Here's Janmark hitting the net with a wrist shot that missed high glove.
He's so good at moving those feet. You get into that spot, deflected wide, but a good opportunity created with that movement of Janmark.
Johansson sends it indeed. Meanwhile, Minnesota with the best record in the league on the road. They've lost only 1 game in regulation in 11 played away from St. Paul. And that was a game where they led Philadelphia in the third period before dropping an eventual 7-5 decision. Here's Freddie Gaudreau. Take the over that night. Missed Foligno. This will turn into icing as scooting back safely is Emberson.
This period brought to you by James H. Brown Accident Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters in injury law.
Kasperi Kapanen is 471st game played in the National Hockey League, so a veteran player that comes in looking for another opportunity, and should be some motivation for him. He's played with some skilled players throughout his career, both in Toronto, Pittsburgh, and in St. Louis, so they felt he could jump right in and made a nice play out of the zone to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on that last outlet. And a fast player has some size down the wall. With Arvidsson and Hyman out right now, the right side a little diminished, so he jumps right in there in the second line.
Draisaitl and McDavid. Draisaitl, a hard net drive, and Fleury did well to field that one cleanly. 14:21 to play in the first period, and Louis so far nearly 6 minutes gone by, and Edmonton's the only team that's cracked the shot clock.
Yeah, an odd start, no question. A knuckleball, curveball that beats Fleury through the wickets to start things off by Draisaitl. This one again, he attempted to pass this one over to McDavid, goes off the skate, comes right back to him. Says, you know what, I'll take it. Thank you very much. And Fleury has to make a real good save in tight. So a little bit of an odd start, but for Edmonton, they've been navigating through the Minnesota Wild to generate those chances, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take some individual efforts on a very strong defensive Wild team.
Here's a dish and a quick chance for Eriksson Ek. Rebound loose in the blue paint. Hacking and whacking, and the Wild thought it was in, but they're going to wave it off.
It might have gone in.
Matt Boldy thought he had pumped it home.
I think he had, but he pushed Skinner in the process. This is a no-go call on the ice, and that's important in these situations. Immediately was waved no goal. Hard shot by Eriksson Ek, and I mean, he's given a little bit too much space here on the outside. Everybody draws to the right, and he's over on the left-hand side of the screen. He's always possessed that great shot, but you can see Stuart Skinner's in position right away. He's looking around saying, hey, you can't push me into the net like that. You're going to see it happen here, and it's Boldy that shoves it through. And then Kaprizov and McDavid, the only 2 97s in the league, as you heard Gene say, come together and come out here and have a discussion with me. I mean, both those guys have put up a lot of points. 2015 draft. Kaprizov a little bit late to the game, but he's making up for that lost time.
Yeah, he was selected in the 5th round. 134 picks went by before Kirill Kaprizov was selected. He'll swing it. Shot from the point came in from Jared Spurgeon. Longtime member of the Wild, now in his 15th year. Up to Kaprizov, Eriksson Ek, centering pass, and that was there, but Boldy failed to finish. 60 goals his first 2 seasons in the league. Tried to slide it in front. Janmark able to break it up and eventually send it in with help from Connor Brown. Fleury guides one to the corner boards. And Connor Brown unable to get on top of that one. Goldie will fling it up the right-hand side, hit a linesman, kicked it back to Brodin. All of a sudden, it's hard to believe he's in his 13th year. Jonas Brodin, longtime anchor. Similar to the guy he broke in with when he played in Minnesota. Kajula's shot spun out of play by Fleury with 6 and change gone by. Marc-Andre Fleury looking to shake off a start where one beat him from about 175 feet. To continue a recent roll, both teams 4-1-1 coming in their last 6. Louis, we did not expect the kind of start we got with a puck rolling through Marc-Andre Fleury, and Minnesota hasn't quite really shrugged it off, have they?
They haven't. That was a better shift. The last one we just saw. The top line went out there, generated some chances around Stuart Skinner, but it's been a little lackluster to start things off, and Edmonton's been the team that's benefited from that. But yeah, a real knuckle or curveball, if you want to call it, bounced right over the stick of Marc-Andre Fleury for the first goal from Leon Draisaitl. And then a no-goal call on the offside for the Minnesota Wild, who thought they had tied it. You don't see that every day, but for right now, the Edmonton Oilers will take those bounces, they'll take those calls, and move forward against one of the best teams in the league to start things off this season.
Oilers began the year 0-3, climbing their way out of it, despite a recent spate of injuries, as Gene talked about. Not only Hyman and Arvidsson up front, but of course Darnell Nurse on the back end, and then a very late scratch this afternoon. Travis Dermott sick and unable to go. So Josh Brown, who went down to Bakersfield, he was physically down there, popped right back on the plane and got here in time to suit up tonight. He, of course, was in the lineup in Ottawa on Tuesday when the Oilers beat the Sens 5-2. That same night, Minnesota beat St. Louis 4-2. Both teams coming off victories. Kaprizov, 2 goals that night, including his league-best 5th empty netter. A blast from Bouchard, and why not test him from center ice? Fleury makes the save.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back for another record-breaking season. Support communities across Oil Country and win big at edmontonoilers.com/50-50.
Well, after that odd goal against for Marc-Andre Fleury, he certainly dialed it back in, has made a couple real good saves in tight, and, you know, talked about that one from McDavid, Draisaitl in tight, who kind of punched his way through and was able to find that puck again. But that's a veteran goaltender over 1,000 games that, you know, it's going to happen every once in a while. And if anybody can shrug it off, Marc-Andre Fleury can.
I guess if you're going to start 1,000 games, there is going to be one that beats you from 134 feet.
He'll remember that one, though. That was the kind that I'm sure 20 years from now he's going to go, I remember that one in Ottawa, in Edmonton that went through my legs.
21st season for Marc-Andre Fleury. His 4th in Minnesota. Hard to believe he's already been with the Wild for 4 years. Marcus Johansson on the rush, and that's deflected harmlessly out of play by Emerson.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's cool that we get to see him too. And there's, you know, for his last travels through the National Hockey League for Marc-Andre Fleury, and for Stuart Skinner, he gets to go up against one of the best goaltenders ever played and one of the good guys in the game. And, you know, it's nice that he gets to go and play in some of these buildings for the last time. You saw the nice tribute in Pittsburgh when he played in there, obviously, where he had so much success winning 3 Stanley Cups.
I asked him about his history in Edmonton this morning, Louis. He said, look, I'm just excited to play. He hasn't played in 2 weeks.
And that might have been a little bit of the jitters, too, when you think about it. He hasn't played since November 7th, and Gustafson's been great going in there and just, you know, holding the net for the Minnesota Wild. And you're 12-2-2. I don't think you want to change too much up, but for Fleury, he gets in there and a funny one goes by him. But again, he's responded now. He's settled in. One of the few starting goaltenders, Jack, that'll go warm up and stay out there right to the end. A lot of starting goaltenders go off the ice, get themselves mentally and physically. Most, I would say, like almost all of them, exception of a few. He stays out there and takes the shots, which is pretty incredible.
And that guy leads the league in goals against and 2nd in save percentage coming in. Philip Gustafsson had an off year last year. We were talking with Marcus Foligno this morning. He goes, the one thing is our goalies have been terrific in this 12-3-3 start. And Fleury, 3-0-1 in the 4 outings he has gotten this season. The captain, Spurgeon, off to Brodin. Hard red. Skinner. Kulak, a nice play off the corner. And Nugent Hopkins bounces it through neutral. Rodin returns to Spurgeon. And then we'll take a pass and move it up for Ryan Hartman. Played back to Jacob Middleton. And again, the goals against for Minnesota, as is usually the case when the Wild are a playoff contender. They're usually near the top. Well, they're at the top. Tied for first in the league in goals against, 2.3 coming in. Middleton, who began his career in San Jose, fires it into Lauko. Acquired by the Wild in a trade with Boston this summer. Lauko continues to grapple for puck possession with Adam Henrique. Forced back to the point, Middleton. Stetcher backhands it ahead, and it's cleared by Janmark. Backhanded over to Henrique by Connor Brown. Takes the drop pass, winds it around for Janmark. He'll bounce on it, absorb the hit from Lauko. Henrique tried to hit Connor Brown behind the net, and that was deflected away. Eventually tracked by Janmark, returned to Bouchard. His shot deflected off Henrique and sailed out of play.
ATCO Energy is the official energy provider of Rogers Place and proud sponsor of the Edmonton Oilers.
McDavid, intense and ready to roll, and on a roll with 14 points in his last 6. Now moves in to take the draw for Draisaitl. Face-off, however, controlled by Brodin. Forced up to Kaprizov. Matt Boldy will wind it around. Kaprizov. Boldy. Brodin. Kaprizov in the corner. Shrugged off Draisaitl. Boldy looking for a lane. Fires and scores. And Minnesota's tied the game. Matt Boldy, his 11th. And we're all even.
Yeah, wicked wrister from Boldy, and he's always possessed a great shot ever since he's come into the league, and confidence to shoot it as well. This is good movement around for the Minnesota Wild. Edmonton thinks they have this kind of taken care of. This puck bounces around. Looks like Draisaitl has it, but the quick stick of Kaprizov finds it, and look at the screen in front. And we've talked about this getting to the inside in the offensive zone, protecting the inside. I mean, you can't have Eriksson Ek standing in front of your goaltender like that when this shot's taken. And you can see he jumps out of the way as it's taken, and it goes right through Stuart Skinner because he doesn't see it till the last second until it's too late. 1-1.
Colorado's up 2-1 on Washington. Nathan MacKinnon does not have a point, so for now, Kaprizov into a tie for the league lead. He'll get the assist along with Brodin on Boldy's 11th. And we'll tell you once again that Boldy should not be a surprise. 60 goals in his first 2 full seasons. Played his collegiate hockey at Boston College and Chestnut Hill. Taken over the line, a shot taken by Faber as Gaudreau did well to just stay on side. Cleared immediately back through center, and Trennan with a handoff to Middleton. Trennan trying to get his game going, as we talked about, just 1 assist on the year in Minnesota's first 18 games. Talking about a guy who had a 17-goal campaign in Nashville not too long ago. Josh Brown back to handle that dump in, coming over to help out Kapanen. Forced back to the line. Chisholm over to Zach Bogosian. His shot was blocked. And Jeff Skinner is on the puck for the Oilers. Funneled in by Stetcher. Fleury will send it around the boards. Bouchard briefly held it in. Johansson eventually able to clear. Hartman gave it away at the red line. Kapanen fought off a back check from Johansson and wristed it down deep. Janmark first on the puck for Edmonton. Dislodged from his grasp. The other way. He'll snap it in. Ekholm first on the puck as Johansson looks to wallpaper. Henrique there with secondary support. It's Bouchard. Checked off his stick by Brodin at the line. And now, Louis, we've seen Minnesota start to settle in. Brodin up the left-hand side. Devin Shore, the former Oiler, a shot off the post. His first game against his former team. Did not play last year when Seattle was here. Was out of the lineup. Only got 21 games in with the Kraken. Spent most of the year down in Coachella Valley. And he almost made his return to Edmonton. A successful one from a goal-scoring standpoint. Lauko finishes his check on Emerson.
He kind of snuck in behind there, and you know, I think the Wild have kind of lulled Edmonton here a little bit. They've been very passive, stepping into the neutral zone, closing things off with the 1-0 lead. They need to get on the forecheck here. They need to start spending some time in the offensive zone. And for the Wild, they're pretty content with just kind of methodically coming up the ice.
But Colson worked it free from Boldy's grasp, then chipped back the other way by Middleton. Reaching it. Boldy protecting against Josh Brown. Did a nice job driving him against the boards off balance.
That's how you stop the cycle right there. Good physical play by Brown.
Especially considering he's logged a lot of air miles.
Yep. But don't be fishing for a puck.
Brown will change as Draisaitl lugs it up the ice for the Oilers. Steers to McDavid. Drop for Bouchard. Last. That stayed out. Rebound to Kaprizov. And he'll launch back through center. Kirill Kaprizov has already extended his point streak on the road to 11 games now. McDavid and Bouchard is blast. A painful block for Eriksson Ek. Another shot. McDavid chipped the rebound. Fleury splayed out, made one save, and didn't have to make a second. He was flat on his back momentarily. Ekholm. Draisaitl from a sharp angle lost the handle, and it's nudged out by Kaprizov. Backhanded ahead, Trent into Faber. Cuts to his right. Shot deflected high up on the plexi by Bouchard. That was a good recovery. McDavid unable to get it out. Chisholm threw it.
With 20 seconds left in the first period, the Edmonton Oilers are tied with the Minnesota Wild 1-1. Also, I can give you real-time notifications on NHL breaking news. Would you like me to do that?
That glance to Foligno as Ekholm lost the stick. A drive, that was actually a broken stick in the corner for Ekholm. And a high toss from Draisaitl, waving at it Bogosian. Second time, hacked it freely to Foligno. Had a career year with 23 goals a couple seasons ago. Playing with Freddie Gaudreau on a line for the third consecutive year. Gaudreau had 19 that year.
One of the stronger third lines in the game. And Yakov Trenin, who is part of a real solid third line in Nashville, comes over and gets an opportunity to fill that right-hand side. Three big guys that can grind you down low.
Emerson, wrist shot, missed high glove on Fleury. Minnesota missed the postseason last year. Dean Evison paid the price. Wild got off to a terrible start, recovered under John Hines, but still finished a few points out after a very successful season the year prior. Square to the shooter. Skinner makes a poised save on Marcus Johansson. He didn't need the post that time. Devin Shore kissing the inside of the left goal post. Fleury, he can still move a week from 40. Tonight's Closer Look brought to you by Specsavers. Quality eyewear and eye care should be affordable for all. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Well, a strange start here in this one tonight. It was 1-0 Edmonton on a fluky goal you just don't see every day. And then Foligno thinks he's tied this game. and it was on the entry. You saw the overhead. Here's the one that was decisive down the line. It was just offside. A great challenge by the Edmonton Oilers. Kept it 1-0 at that time. Now 1-1 on that goal we saw by Matt Boldy, his 11th of the season. On a nice screen in front by Eriksson Ek.
Off the draw, Middleton across to Faber. Handled by Boldy, shadowed by Adam Henrique. Kaprizov, a shot does not make its way through. Blocked by Henrique and cleared by Derek Ryan. Connor Brown worked it in. So Ryan on this line instead of Janmark for right now. Defensive zone draw, of course. Brown had it poked free, but Ryan was there to scoop and give it up for Adam Henrique, and it's inadvertently flipped into the Minnesota bench. Right beyond the reach of Philip Gustafson, who's backing up Marc-Andre Fleury tonight. John Hines, the head coach of Minnesota, took them to a 34-24-5 finish. There he is. But again, when you start in the kind of hole, just won 5 of their first 19 games for Minnesota, a team that had been in the playoffs the year prior.
Start was the priority. We talked about it a little bit earlier on. John Hines said, listen, we had to really buckle down in training camp. Marcus Foligno told you and I this morning, hardest camp he's ever been a part of. And, you know, when you hear players start to talk about that, he said we needed it. We had to kind of get our things straight. But obviously it worked because they came out of the gates on fire.
Here's Connor McDavid, burst of speed down the left-hand side. Spurgeon is there to reel him in. Snuck one into the middle, went off a skate out to Bouchard. Ekholm did well to hold the zone, albeit momentarily. Trennan will just lay it off to Spurgeon, and now a late offside call because Podkolzin was still pressuring up ice. So 3:48 to go in the first. Tied at 1. Draisaitl for Edmonton, and they have added an assist to McDavid, who gave him the puck, and then it was sent off the boards and squirted through the legs of Marc-Andre Fleury. 3 Stanley Cups and a Vezina that came at age 37. Marc-Andre Fleury, his last year with the Vegas Golden Knights. And
it's incredible, right? He's won 3 Stanley Cups, and that was his first Vezina in his career, but he finally got it.
That's offside against Minnesota. 3.5 to play in an eventful first period. We're tied at 1.
Well, we introduced you to Dominic Noel and his daughter Madison. She's 10 years old. She said, Dad, I want to watch Connor McDavid play. And Dad said, I want to watch him play, but they also want to watch Marc-Andre Fleury because Dominic, back about 20 years ago, was actually a teammate of Marc-Andre's when they were playing for Cape Breton. And so here they were this morning getting a chance to, meet a new friend and see an old friend as they spent some time with him after the morning skate as Fleury continues to make his mark on the game of hockey.
Man, I wished I looked that good a week from 40. Week from 30, for that matter. The ageless one, Marc-Andre Fleury. And a penalty coming as Brodin taken down. I think Podkolzin will be going off here. Fleury will head for the bench. Kaprizov kicks it back to Brodin. Forechecking is Draisaitl. In the meantime, Marcus Johansson will try to make a play. Saucering it over to Boldy. Boldy got tripped up by Jeff Skinner. We might have 2 here. Spurgeon ducked inside. There's a trip. And is that all there is?
There was the back official's arm was up as well.
Edmonton, number 92, minor penalty tripping.
That's it. The one trip on Podkolzin up ice. I think Jeff Skinner got the benefit of the doubt.
I think Boldy's saying, hey, what about me? I got tripped as well. Here's the forecheck here. It's the right leg of Podkolzin that kind of stretches out on the nice little move to turn by Brodin. He just gets caught putting that right leg in there, takes him down. Good call. And then I think Boldy got tripped as well. And Edmonton got away with a second penalty on the play. But it will be a power play for the Wild, the first of the game.
They've been struggling on the power play. Got off to a great start. They're still 20% for the year, but you're just 3 for their last 29, and they've put Declan Chisholm, a third-pairing defenseman, on the first power play unit off the faceoff. Emerson, Ekholm, Nugent-Hopkins, and Henrique start on a PK unit that has really rediscovered its form over the last 5 games. 12 successful kills in a row. And they're out of the last 2 spots for the first time all season. Tied for 29. Still a long way to go, but nevertheless, massive improvement on the PK lately for Edmonton. Boldy. Banks it off the boards. Chisholm. Boldy. Fired across. Kaprizov. Back across. Boldy. Those were airborne pucks inside of Eriksson. Fanned. Shoveled by Ekholm. And Chisholm. No, he did not get it in time. Then another big bounce. And that time, Fleury. And he gave a little fist pump because he made the save that time on a tough one-hopper that he got with his blocker side.
He punched it away. That puck jumped up 4 feet. At least 4 feet.
Another clear, and Fleury thought about making a move on the puck, but it'll be Ryan Hartman who glides over halfway through the penalty to put Podkolzin. I don't know whether you saw, he gave a little pump of the fist when he made that stop.
Character.
Recognizing he let one get away early. Poke check by Connor Brown. Subtle play derails Minnesota's momentum here. Shoveled in by Spurgeon. Kulak first on the puck. Kept alive by Marco Rossi. Faber gives it up. Rossi steps in. Swung it back. Faber dishes. Open. Spurgeon a wrist shot. And I think Brown got a piece at the last second. Brown's been killing penalties down in Bakersfield. It's one of the reasons the Oilers wanted to get Kapanen on the team. He killed penalties in Toronto using the same system that Chris Knobloch does. Johansson. Rossi fires, saves, Skinner, rebound, loose. And the Oilers able to pull it out of danger. Janmark. Eventually fumbled in by Podkolzin. Recovered by Faber. Final minute, first period. And despite pedestrian shot totals of 7-6, a lot has gone on. Flipped in. Kuznetsov, the net front presence, will pick up a puck. Backhanded out. Middleton clubs it on net. Save made by Skinner. Rebound. Lauko tried to bang it in front. Dishes off. Middleton fires. Saves Skinner. He flashed the glove and pulls it in with 20 seconds to go in the period, keeping the game tied at 1.
Well, a solid penalty kill and a couple good chances for the Wild, but a couple taken away as well. Good block by Brown here, gets into that lane. There's a good save by Stuart Skinner, and he's able to kind of jam this away. Gets a little help from Janmark at the last second to pick it out of there. And this shot by Middleton, a good wrister on a diving attempt to block it by Podkolzin and handle with the glove.
Eriksson lining up against Derek Ryan off the face-off. Retrieved by Kulak. Under pressure from Kaprizov. Digging and raking. Kulak trying to protect inside 10 seconds. That was carefully flipped
right
on the glass.
Yeah, of the glass. I'm sure that he probably had the adrenaline spike watching that one.
But nevertheless, the period ends 1 apiece. Draisaitl for Edmonton from 134 feet. Boldy more conventional, using a screen to tie it up.
Yeah, an odd period, no question about it. 15 shots between the two teams. 8 now for the Minnesota Wild and 7 for Edmonton. It was Edmonton that held the shot clock advantage for the first 5-6 minutes, but the Minnesota Wild dug in a tight game going into the second.
Straight ahead, it's a teddy bear toss weekend for the Edmonton Oil Kings, the Western Hockey League tenant here at Rogers Place. And Gene Principe will be joined by Oil Kings captain Gavin Hodden and Director of Business Ops.
50-50 presented by Rogers. It's in support of the Alberta Cancer Foundation, creating more hope and more moments for Albertans battling cancer. You can help support the fight against cancer by getting your 50-50 tickets at edmontonoilers.com/50-50. That total jackpot right now, it's over $703,000. Leon Draisaitl has the goal for Edmonton. Matt Boldy has the goal for Minnesota. We're just about ready for this second period of play as McDavid, Podkolzin, and Draisaitl started off with Ekholm and Bouchard, and Ekholm with the puck. Got it to the Minnesota blue line. Faber couldn't flip it past Draisaitl, and now it's McDavid at center ice on the right wing to Bouchard, who's able to rim the puck into the left wing corner. Back to the point. It goes to Ekholm. Off the left wing boards to Draisaitl about top of the circle. Now along the left wing, Podkolzin to the blue line for Ekholm, looking for a shooting lane. Has to skate it down the left wing, stops in the corner with it. Up to the top of the circle. Rims it around, it goes in behind the net. Middleton being pressured on the play by McDavid. Puck comes loose in the left corner. Boldy trying to get it out. Ekholm pinching down. Puck goes in behind the net. It's Middleton for Minnesota. Out through the middle to Eriksson Ek. Now on the right to Boldy. In over the line, going towards the net. And a weak backhand steered aside by the stick of Stuart Skinner. Puck in the right wing corner of the Oilers zone. It's McDavid. He gets the pass, and Draisaitl will bring it out. They get to center ice. We'll shoot it in. Edmonton will make changes as Brodin goes in behind the goal. Over to the right wing corner. Brodin will get it to the line. Won't get it out. Now they do, as it went off of Rossi, and the puck gets to center ice. Inside his own end is Emberson for Edmonton. Minute 20 gone here in the second. Tied at 1. The Oilers in the Wild. Kulak on the left wing. He'll shoot it in off the end boards. And behind the net, Brodin on the left to Johansson. Swings it across. It gets to the right side. Hartman will play it in. It'll get to the right corner. Emerson goes in behind the net. Reverses it to Kulak. Now Kulak out through the middle. Kulak through the middle off the stick of Jeff Skinner. Goes down to Fleury. Fleury's got to play it. Almost gave it away to Nugent Hopkins. And it goes in behind the Minnesota net. And it up against the boards. Nugent Hopkins works it free to the right wing point. Josh Brown left side to Stetcher. It's shot, and it gets blocked. Goes to the left wing corner. Along the board, Stetcher has to come in from the blue line. Runs into Hartman. Puck comes free to Kajula. Works on the left wing to the middle. Off the stick of Johansson. Back to the right wing point. Josh Brown gets it low off to Derek Ryan. Puck does come free, and skating out to center ice is Rossi. He'll get to center and shoot it in. Skinner can leave it for Stetcher. Stetcher out through the middle. As he gains the neutral zone to Josh Brown, who's looking for Ryan, hopped over his stick. Bogosian will get it out. Bouchard inside his own blue line, across to Ekholm, up the left wing, off the stick of Kajula. Fleury's got to play it. Got it to the right wing corner. Chisholm on the left for Foligno. Will get it out through the middle for Goodrow. And Goodrow now skates through center. And over the Edmonton line. Drops it. Bogosian shot off a leg. Goes to the right wing corner of the Edmonton zone. Tied at 1 here in the second. Just over 3 minutes gone to the blue line. Chisholm. He'll shoot it. Save made by Skinner. Rebound, scores. Foligno went hard to the net. Followed it up. And gives the Wild a 2-1 lead.
A bit of a mismatch there. What do we talk about that home plate area in front of the net? At Edmonton, it's unfortunately, Foligno's a strong man, and they just battled down low. So did Jakob Trenin, who played with Matthias Ekholm in Nashville. Ekholm was able to tie up Trenin, but Foligno pokes it home.
Foligno gets his 4th of the year. 3 minutes, 9 seconds into the second period. The Wild have their first lead of the evening.
And I would say to you, they've been the better team for about the last 10 minutes of this game by a wide margin.
Boldy with it at center ice. Back into his own end. Faber to Middleton on the right to Boldy. He'll dump it in. Goes in behind the net. Kulak will get it around on the right wing. Now Kulak at his own blue line, forced back by Eriksson Ek. Kulak through the middle. Went just off the stick, and it comes free to Boldy. He'll come in 3-on-1 to Kaprizov. To Boldy off the outside of the net. May have gone off the pad of Skinner before it got there. The Oilers clear it out. They give up a 3-on-1.
Well, nobody covered for Kulak. Look out, backside.
Boldy on the left wing. He'll shoot it. Didn't get it through. Puck gets to the slot. And it's Janmark up to the blue line. Couldn't get it out.
Oilers look slow right now. They got to pick the pace up here.
Kulak tried to clear it. It didn't get out. Kaprizov in the slot. Had it knocked off his stick. It's going to go down the ice. Oilers try to make a quick change. Spurgeon at center. Gave it to Trenin. Off the right wing boards and in. Ekholm. Bring it out for Edmonton. Out through the middle to McDavid. In over the line. McDavid waiting. The shot save made by Fleury. He went for the poke check. McDavid's got it on the right wing back to the blue line. To Bouchard. To McDavid. Skates across the middle. Drops it. Draisaitl. Shot off a stick to the left wing corner. McDavid recovers it. Top of the circle, left side, gets checked by Trennan. To Foligno, to Trennan, to Foligno, into the Oilers zone on the right wing. Fires it across for Gaudreau, goes off the left corner boards, and McDavid will come out with it. 2-1, Minnesota leads here in the second. Just over 5 minutes gone in the period. Faber in behind his net for Minnesota. Left wing to Foligno at center ice, cross ice. And it went off of Kuznetsov, and that will be an offside against Minnesota.
Oh, what a poke check there by Marc-Andre Fleury as Ekholm hit Connor McDavid full flight. And the Oilers lucky that Boldy didn't make it 3-1 on a 3-on-1. And McDavid split the seam, and he was gone. And Fleury just got the paddle out, or Connor dekes around him into an empty net.
2-1 Minnesota here in the second period. Bogosian, his pass knocked down by Jeff Skinner. Come into the Minnesota zone on the left side. To Stetcher. Low to Kapanen. Kapanen back to the right wing point. Josh Brown to Stetcher. Went to shoot it. It's blocked by Shore. Comes back to Brown. Gets it to the middle. And it's Stetcher now. His shot, and it's saved by Fleury. There's a rebound kick towards the side of the net. Oilers trying to jam it in. Stetcher to the right wing. Back to the right wing point. Josh Brown will shoot it. Save made by Fleury. He'll hold on to it. Oilers with some pressure.
Marc-Andre Fleury's had some challenges on some loose pucks in this game, Cam.
Yeah, there have been a few rebounds. Hasn't played since November 7th, so maybe taking him a little while to get back up to speed. But he did battle back after that bounce-in goal 27 seconds in. Face off to the left of Fleury. Start number 1,000 of Fleury's career appearance, 1,030. Shot from the point and saved by Fleury as Emberson snapped it towards the goal. Fleury held onto it. 21st season in the NHL for Marc-Andre Fleury. Second all-time in wins, just behind Martin Brodeur. What goes in behind the net? Wrapped around, scores! Corey Perry brings it out from behind the net and ties the game at 2.
Well, that line was on the ice for the 2-1 Minnesota goal. They get one right back. Derek Ryan, sort of a 50-50 face-off draw, but Perry went in, grabbed the loose puck, and the man scored over 400 in his career. Even though he's in the twilight stages of his career, ricocheted it off of Jared Spurgeon's skate in a Lynette. That's why you take it to Lynette.
Yeah, that's why you take it to the net.
You never know what's going to happen.
Spurgeon just, you can see him just look up into the air. What are you going to do? Well, Perry ties it up. It's 4th of the year. 6:03 time of that goal. Puck in behind the Edmonton net. Eriksson Ek to the right wing point. Faber will shoot it. That misses. Comes off the end boards. Hacked out of the zone, and Mark will get it out to Henrique. In over the Minnesota line down the left wing. Now to Kulak to the right corner. Kulak up the right wing boards to the blue line. Emberson shoots it. That just went wide of the goal. Boldy in the left wing corner will get it up and out. Won't be icing. Emberson out from behind the Edmonton net. We're tied at 2. We're here in the second. Gets to center ice. Hits the corner boards with it. Went right into the slot. Faber there for Minnesota. He'll get it out. Give it to Gaudreau. Center ice. He'll shoot it in. Skinner to Ekholm. Up the left wing. Matthias Ekholm. For Connor Brown. He'll shoot it in. Brodin jams it up the right wing side. Podkolzin got it low. McDavid after it. Went to Brodin, though. Gets the top of the circle, and Gaudreau will get to center ice. He'll shoot it in. Foligno to recover it in the left wing corner of the Oiler end. Top of the circle, checked by Draisaitl to McDavid up the right wing. In over the line, cuts across the top of the circles. He'll drop it back to Bouchard. Doesn't have a shooting lane. Works it to the middle. Will let it go. Just misses. Puck sent to the blue line. Kept in by the skate of Bouchard. Now over to Draisaitl, to Bouchard, to Draisaitl. Cross-ice pass to Podkolzin's behind him. Spurgeon on the left wing to Brodin up the left side. Trennan couldn't get it out. Second chance, he will get it out. It's at center ice. Brought in by Jeff Skinner. That's offside.
Looked for a second like Edmonton had too many men on the ice.
They're all right. We'll take a break. 8 minutes gone here in the second. We're tied at 2. The Oilers taking on the Minnesota Wild. We'll be right back from Rogers Place. It's Sport Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network. Tied at 2 here in the second. 8 minutes into it. Cam Moon along with Bob Stauffer here at Rogers Place. Marcus Foligno scoring for Minnesota in this period. Corey Perry for Edmonton. Chisholm and Gaudreau get the assists on the Foligno goal. Draisaitl scored in the first for Edmonton. Boldy for the Wild. Face-off just outside the Minnesota blue line. Stetcher across the center ice line. Josh Brown, he'll shoot it in. Bogosian shoveled it in behind the net. Puck comes out in front to Nugent Hopkins, but Bogosian was able to break it up. Through center to Rossi, that's offside. Shots now 14-10 in favor of the Oilers.
Oilers have responded since Minnesota made it 2-1. Got some good stretches here.
Nugent Hopkins against Hartman. Hartman kicked out. Marco Rossi comes in. Goes to Stetcher. Give it to Josh Brown up the right wing off of Kapanen into the Oiler bench.
You mentioned Marco Rossi, and of course he played for the Ottawa 67s for a couple years, but he was a player that was greatly affected from complications from COVID. Lost an entire year.
Good to see him back out there.
Well, he had a heck of a year last year, as you know.
Yep.
20 goals, 40 points. He's a second-line center on this team right now. And they don't have Zuccarello going, so and he's been terrific, Zuccarello, historically against the Oilers.
Up the center ice, Hartman will dump the puck in. Rossi will go after it. Josh Brown up the left wing to Jeff Skinner, now to Nugent Hopkins. We'll get it out to Kapanen. The puck in the neutral zone. Rossi will turn it the other way. Rossi, first round pick of Minnesota at 20. He'll dump it in. Goes in behind the Edmonton net. We're tied at 2. We're here in the second period. Johansson back to the left wing point to Middleton, across to Faber, slides down the right side, goes to the corner in front of the goal to Johansson, missed it. It goes to Middleton, who's shot, and the save made by Skinner. Puck gets to the slot, comes across, the shot, scores. Marcus Johansson had to come right over to him on the right wing, and he gives the Wild a 3-2 lead.
It was just a slop fest, and I'm telling you right now, Nugent Hopkins and Skinner together have had some challenges 5v5 here over the last couple of games. And I got it, you got it job, and then Stetcher couldn't quite pick it up cleanly, and the puck deflected off of the stick of Josh Brown, went right to Johansson. 3-2 Minnesota. That was an ugly sequence for the Oilers, and Stetcher broke his stick over the crossbar afterwards.
9-10 time of the goal. Johansson gets his second of the year.
You got to get the puck out when you got a chance to get it out. You can't be. And I mean, it's been a strange game. I think that's fair to say. The Oilers have scored 2 ugly goals themselves, but I'm sensing at times Edmonton's having a little bit of a challenge dealing with the pace and tempo of the Minnesota Wild.
Are they looking at something? What is the... They've got the one penalty box door open, and now... Oh, no, it's all fine. Whatever it was.
Got to respond here.
Yep, they do. 3-2 Wild lead here in the second period. As Ryan, Kajula, and Perry are out there with Kulak and Emberson on the right wing to Corey Perry. They'll shoot it in. Hartman's going to pick up an assist on that goal by Johansson. It's rimmed on the right. Shore got it out. Emberson will take it back into his own end, goes in behind the net. Kuznetsov in on the forecheck. Puck comes up top of the circle. Lauko puts it off the end boards. On the left wing to the blue line. Kulak gets it across. It goes to Emberson. He'll shoot it in. That comes around on the glass on the right. Faber had Corey Perry right in front of him. There's nowhere to go with it. Puck back to the blue line for Kulak. He'll get it across on the right. Emberson will shoot it. The glove save made by Marc-Andre Fleury. They'll hold on with 10:06 to go in the second. 3-2. Minnesota leads. It's the only time the Wild will come to Edmonton this year. The Oilers are in Minnesota December 12th and January 15th. So it might be the last time
for Marc-Andre
Fleury. Face off to the left of Fleury. Spurgeon behind his goal. Rims on the right. Gets by Boldy. It comes out now towards it. Eriksson Ek in over the line on the left. He'll then shoot it. Save made by Skinner. Loose puck. Podkolzin on the right side for Bouchard. Now to Draisaitl. Pass in behind him. And Kaprizov will take it back into his own end. Kaprizov loops around across to Spurgeon. Now to the middle to Brodin. Up the right wing Kaprizov. To Boldy into the Oilers zone. Goes to the right wing corner. Got McDavid on him. Comes up the right wing to the top of the circle. Cycles the puck. But it was Ekholm up the boards. Boldy kept it in. Kaprizov back to the blue line. Spurgeon shot, and the save made by Skinner. And Podkolzin can bring it up the right wing and out through the middle to McDavid. Into the Minnesota zone to Draisaitl. Over to Podkolzin. His shot hit a stick. Misses short side. And Kaprizov will skate out for the Wild. At the Edmonton blue line. Lost it to Draisaitl. Behind the net to Josh Brown.
Oilers see a change here.
We'll be able to change the forwards as Brown holds on to it. And behind the Edmonton net. We'll leave the puck to Stetcher. Stetcher skating out through the middle. Right wing to Brown. He'll shoot it in. Connor Brown in on the left wing. Puck gets to the corner. Chisholm will get the puck out. On the right wing. Trennan to Bogosian. Over to Chisholm, left wing. The left wing side to Foligno. One touches it to Gaudreau. Come into the Oiler end. Stops on that left side. To the left wing corner. Bogosian in front of the net. Just off the stick of Trennan. Wide of the Edmonton goal.
Low battery.
Josh Brown with it. Inside the Edmonton zone. We'll cross to Stetcher, left wing. Bank it in behind the net to Brown. Brown waits. Oilers change the forwards. Now to Stetcher. Come out from behind the net. Stetcher through the middle. Stetcher on the left. His pass hit the stick of Hartman. Now it's brought in on the right wing by Rossi. To Hartman. His shot. And that one goes off of Nugent Hopkins. Middleton in from the left wing point. Around to Hartman right side. His shot, and it just rolls to Skinner. He will cover that up. 7:41 to go here in the second. We're going to take a break. 3-2. Wild lead the Oilers from Rogers Place. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hockey is back, and so is Play Alberta, Alberta's #1 sportsbook and the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Cheer for the Oilers while scoring bigger offers, boosted odds, live betting, player props, and more. New to Alberta? New players now receive $200 in free bets just for signing up. Already a player? Get a $10 free bet for every $100 you bet. Download the new Sportsbook app and make your picks today. Bonus terms and conditions apply.
Businesses deserve the best protection against cyber threats. Altech offers state-of-the-art IT and cybersecurity solutions to safeguard digital assets. The team of experts at Altech are dedicated to providing the highest level of security, ensuring that data remains safe and operations are seamless. With Altech, businesses can focus on growth while the rest is handled. From advanced threat detection to comprehensive data security, Altech has it covered. Choose Altech for reliable and effective cybersecurity. Visit alt-tech.ca now to learn more.
Every year, carbon monoxide poisoning kills over 300 Canadians and hospitalizes many more. Carbon monoxide has no smell, taste, or color. But protecting yourself and your family isn't hard. A properly functioning carbon monoxide alarm can detect carbon monoxide and alert you to the danger. We've created a helpful carbon monoxide checklist to help you protect your household. Visit atco.com/co to learn more and download the checklist. ATCO.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Cam Moon and Bob Stauffer here at Rogers Place. 3-2. The Wild lead the Oilers with 7:41 to go in the second period. Draisaitl and Perry have scored for Edmonton. It's been Boldy, Foligno, and Johansson for Minnesota. Face off in the Edmonton zone to the left of Stuart Skinner. Goes to the right wing point. Faber. Got it into the corner. Emerson there for Edmonton up the left wing. He gets to Nugent Hopkins. Off the left wing boards and out. Faber gets tied up at center. Jeff Skinner trying to find a loose puck. Goes to the middle. Hartman there for Minnesota. Will bring the puck in. Go over to the right wing. Round to the left for Faber. About the hash marks inside Edmonton territory. Back to the left wing point. Middleton will shoot it. And a save made by Skinner. There's traffic in front of the net. Hartman got dumped down in front of the goal by Kulak. But Skinner able to find it and hold on. Face-off will be to Stuart Skinner's right. Three-game trip here for Minnesota. They started in St. Louis with a 4-2 win.
What's their road record this year?
8-1-2.
So we're told they had a very difficult training camp. A lot of pace and tempo early. I think it worked to their advantage.
Does look that way. Podkolzin will bring it up the left wing for the Oilers. Now to McDavid. Into the Minnesota zone to Podkolzin. His shot and a pad save made by Fleury. The puck cleared out. Long pass too far for Kaprizov. That's icing. Yeah, Minnesota 12-3-3 coming into this one. 8-1-2 on the road. 4-2-1 at home. They will play in Calgary as well on this trip.
And whereas they've had a lot of Edmonton's number over the last few years,
yes,
Calgary's had success against them. You know, you have McDavid and Draisaitl, you're going to get lots of teams' best game.
Puck cleared out of the zone, and it's Bouchard for a minute had it. It gets to Ekholm. Will get it to center. Comes back to Bouchard. Up the left wing to Podkolzin. Into the Minnesota end. Goes to the left wing corner. Stops. Around to Draisaitl on the right wing. To the right wing point. Bouchard puts it off the inboards. Podkolzin to the side of the net for McDavid. Over to Podkolzin. Now on the right. Bouchard wanted to one-touch that back to Draisaitl. It came out. And the Oilers regroup. Bouchard to McDavid. The Minnesota end on the right wing is about the hash marks. Pass back to the point, didn't get a lot on it. Partially hit a stick, and Kaprizov will get it out. Stepping up, Ekholm on the left wing. Oilers are making a change. They go, it's offside at the Edmonton blue, or at the Minnesota blue line.
Oilers haven't had a power play yet in this game. Minnesota's had one.
That's it. One penalty in the entire game.
Well, Minnesota's skating. And as a rule of thumb, when you're moving your feet, you just don't take as many.
Nope, exactly. Ryan will take the draw. Shots now 17-16 for the Wild as it goes back to Josh Brown. Give it to Stetcher. It's up to the blue line to Brown. Banks it to Ryan. He'll direct it into the Minnesota end. Spurgeon goes in behind the net. Spurgeon up the left wing to Lauko. Won't be able to get it out. That's kept in on the right wing. Derek Ryan was looking for Perry in behind the goal. Instead, it goes up the right side. Shore will get it out. And Kuznetsov brought the puck in, but Lauko lost an edge at the blue line and put himself offside.
Edmonton was lucky.
They were. We're going to take a break. 5:35 to go here in the second period. 3-2. The Wild lead the Oilers. From Rogers Place, it's a Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers Radio Network.
Cameron and Bob Stauffer. We are here in the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home and no payments, no interest for 1 year. 3-2 Wild lead the Oilers. 5:35 to go here in the second period. Face off just outside the Edmonton blue line. McDavid comes out through center ice, through the middle, into the Minnesota end. He'll shoot it. That goes off the stick of Spurgeon, over to the right wing to Draisaitl. To the blue line, Bouchard will shoot. Save made by Fleury, holds on to it.
Jeff Skinner getting a shift up here with McDavid and Draisaitl.
See if the Oilers can find the magic mix to get them back to even terms here.
Jeff Skinner's a 6-time 30-goal scorer.
Exactly.
He's been quiet here for about 3 weeks.
Puck goes to McDavid, left wing point. Ekholm walks in, shoots it, and he hammered it just wide of the net. Bouchard keeps it in on the right wing. Top of the circle of Draisaitl. Now to Jeff Skinner, into the corner to McDavid. Back to the point. Bouchard over to Ekholm. Has it left wing. Off the corner boards. Gets into the end. Middleton will spin it to the middle to Eriksson Ek. Now up the right side to Kaprizov. Kaprizov will dump the puck into the Oilers zone. We'll call that icing. She flipped it up and in and all the way down. 4:53 to go here in the second period. Minnesota up by a score of 3-2. Go-ahead goal by Marcus Johansson. Came at 9:10 of this second period. It's after Corey Perry had tied things up at 6:03. Perry's goal unassisted on a wraparound that he banked off the skate of Jared Spurgeon. Faceoff will be to the left of Fleury. Somebody's stick snapped in half. That was Eriksson Ek. So he'll need a new one. Derek Ryan to take this draw as Eriksson Ek gets the stick so we can take the face-off against Ryan.
The Steelers are playing the Browns tonight in the Monday or in the Thursday nighter. And it's full-blown snowstorm. Looks like the Battle of Stalingrad out there right now.
Puck goes to Kajulian behind the net.
Fortunately, neither you nor me had any part of it.
That's right.
The time is 8:39 p.m.
He's able to slide off of that and come out to center. He got hit by Kajula. And now Kajula is going to have to...
The Thursday night football game between the Steelers and the Browns kicked off this evening at 6:15 p.m.
Play goes on, though. Oh, now Middleton will make that. Getting the gloves off is Kajula. It goes right down to the ice. That one didn't really get going. Figured Kajula was going to have to deal with someone coming in there, and it was Boldy. It was Boldy that came in after Middleton had dealt with
the Oilers will take that trade-off.
Kajula with the hit on Kaprizov at center. Ooh. And it slowed him down. He's on the bench right now, and you can tell he's hurting. Yeah. Kajula tried to throw one. Boldy threw a big one over the top that missed, and they both went to the ice. Kaprizov's going down the tunnel.
Well, what's the call here? I mean, there's 5 minutes left in the period. Is that why they're off? There was no penalty on the play.
No, but I saw Kaprizov just...
Yeah.
No,
and right now, Jared Spurgeon's trying to get he's trying to get a penalty. And Perry's saying he's having a conversation with Middleton. And the only question here is, does Kajula, I don't think that's maybe I'm looking at it through the proverbial Oilers glasses here, but I don't like it that they're talking this over here.
You're right. That
generally does not bode well.
No. Yeah, after that hit, Middleton had come in.
He doesn't low bridge him. Let's pick up the call here.
I don't know that we're getting one yet. I don't know.
Well, the fact that they went to Spurgeon, he looks rather animated.
Okay, now we'll get some clarification.
No, this doesn't look good.
The penalties on the play, number 8, Edmonton, and number 12 for Minnesota. 5 minutes each for fighting.
That's it.
All right.
The Oilers will take that all day.
Sure. Well, even up. Oilers down by 1 here in the second. 4:23 to go. Explanation being given over at the Wild bench.
It's just like, could you look at him with his shoulder and knocked him off balance? John Hines wants an explanation. Ryan Hartman wants an explanation.
Over at the Oiler bench.
Entering Cap PAUSE. Papa Alpha Uniform Sierra Echo. Mark, stop.